Hello, I hope you hear me, and welcome to our next live stream. So number 3. I promised that we will test AWX today, but unfortunately I tested it yesterday. And now it just works. So today we will see how to install it again, the newest version, and let's look at the newest version. So just so easy. I will try to share my screen, and I hope it will work. Oops, sorry. Here it is. So I prepared several virtual machines for installation, but we don't need so many. I will try to start with Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. So from my testing, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 was the easiest way. So it's something very easy, and yes, it's fresh installed, nothing special, just several repositories, code ready, and Ansible engine. So I will change the language to the English, because otherwise you will read everything in German. So, and the first thing we have to do is to download our new Ansible AWX 17.1. Okay. So another thing is to enable PostgreSQL 12. The newest version of AWX doesn't work with PostgreSQL 10 anymore and require version 12. So enable it. Yes. And now we can install it. Oh no, sorry. We have to install Apple Enterprise. I forgot. Some packages for Enterprise Linux. And just after that, we can install AWX. And as you see, it requires many packages. So this is our Ansible AWX. We just downloaded Ansible 2918 from Ansible repo. So base, some X11 packages, engines, anyway. So PostgreSQL. So this is very important. It should be version 12. So, and Redis version 5 or newer. So, and these are two packages from Apple repository. So let's install it. It will take some time. So, extra packages for Enterprise Linux. So now it's everything installed. So before we're going further, if you didn't switch off firewall D, do it now. And switch off SA Linux. Now we can go a little bit further. The next step, we will configure Redis. So we need a Redis socket, Redis, and it should be available for everyone from the group Redis. So let's try to start Redis and look if it works. Started. Good. So what else? We need to change permissions for supervisor directory and add a user Nginx in to the group AWX. So now start with Postgres setup, initialize PostgreSQL server. It was very fast and started. So, looks good. Let's create, oops, post this much, too many letters. Let's create a user for AWX and then database. Here it is. Now we can create database structure for AWX. Migrate. It will take some time again. If you have any comments, questions, notes, feel free to ask in the chat. Yeah, here it is. Now we can create super user, manage create super user. And create some data for testing. So, AWX manage provision instance. The last two steps, and register queue. So, queue name. I hope I write correctly. Yeah, looks like. So another thing we have to do, setting. So we must write here somewhere cluster host ID. Here it is. Here should be our host name. And now we can start. System ctl enable now Ansible AWX and check that it works. So Redis, Postgres, Nginx, and supervisor-D. Everything starts. Supervisor ctl status. So everything is running. So we can check if that interface is working. Oh. So it looks like it doesn't work. Wants to work in room. So let's try another tab on browser. It looks like I have to use Firefox for it. Oops. And let's take a look. Yeah. This is the new interface of AWX. A little bit different from original interface, but still not so bad. And let's take a look if it works. If I did everything correctly, it should be completed successfully. It is. And then I can run demo template. Here it is. It works. Wrong date. I think it is on the server. Yeah. Wrong time, not the date, but the time is wrong on the server. But it still works. So you see, it was not, maybe it was not very easy, but in 10 minutes we did everything. We installed AWX and Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. It works. So I could do the same on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 or on SUSE Linux. It takes sometimes a little bit more steps for, I will show it maybe. So on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, you must enable this software collection repository. Here it is. And I have something changed. Package. We also need extra packages for Enterprise Linux. And here it is. We have much more packages from Apple here. So Nginx, for example. So this is very important part. PostgreSQL 12 again. And try to remember. That's 15. Okay. And slash 15 is the only Linux distribution which says that Ansible AWX package is not signed. Okay, so let's install. Oh, again, everything in German, sorry. So here it is. Their package is not signed in German, but the big difference between this version, AWX 17, and the previous version, which we compiled, AWX 15, is on Redis, requirements for Redis. Because the previous version, as far as I remember, worked perfectly with standard Redis provided by Apple, version 3 or something like. And this version, AWX, requires Redis 5. And because we use software collections here, every time we need to do something with Postgres, we need to enable software collection for Postgres. So Enterprise Linux 8 doesn't require this command. SUSE doesn't require this command, but Enterprise Linux 7. So you must say that it is enable now that you work with PostgreSQL 12 with the software collection. This is the only difference between Enterprise Linux 7 and 8. And regarding the SUSE, there is also a small difference with Redis. SUSE has Redis 5. So I need to create here default conf. But the service is called a little bit different. There it is default. Oops. It looks like I forgot to do something. Of course. So I created as root, and the file is owned by root, and yeah, Redis cannot read it. Redis default. Here it is. Now it works. So, and the whole procedure is the same for Enterprise Linux 8, SUSE Linux 15, and for Enterprise Linux 7. So, if you have any questions, you have time to ask them. If not, so that's all what I wanted to show to you. Thank you for watching. Have a nice weekend and good weather. See you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.